Let's try this again. Let's try this again, y'all. I'm sorry. Let's try it again. Come on back in. Come on back in. I'm sorry. Note to self. Come on back in. Come on back in. Come on back in. Come on back in. Hey, Maurice. Good to see you. I'm good. I'm good. Come on back in. What's up, sweets? Hey, Andre. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see Pastor Thurman Neal Tillman on with us. Okay. Joanne is back with us. All right, we're getting back. We're coming back. We're coming back. So let me tell you what happened. Hey, Paula, good to see you. All right, come on back in. Come on back in. So what I was trying to do, hey, Sister Barbara Foster, good to see you. What I was trying to do, I was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi while I was on the middle of the feed. So I thought it would just go from being on the cellular to being on the Wi-Fi. Well, it froze up on me, so that was my fault. Um, that's my fault. I'm sorry. We're sending love out to Miss Julia Carter, sending her some love because that's what we do around here. Angela Kirkland is back. Shirley, good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. I think we were sending love to Tara, and that's what we do every week here too. And I think we were sending that love out to her, so I was doing that. And then we'll talk a little bit about what I want to talk about, and then we'll keep it moving. Um, but anyway, so glad to have all of you on with us. Thank you for those of you. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties we were having. I apologize. Michelle is on from Pooler, Georgia, all the way from Pooler. Kathy is on with us, and yeah, we got all these folks coming on. And again, I apologize. I was trying. See, if Darnell Pullen knows everything there is to know about computers. And what Darnell should have told me was, well, then you should not try to switch from a cellular connection to a Wi Fi connection in the middle of a broadcast. If Darnell had told me that, then I would not have done it. But yet, in my mind, it made sense that if I have a Wi Fi signal and I have a cellular signal, that it would just switch over like you're switching tracks. Nobody told me that it was going to freeze up. Darnell Pullen should have said to me, hold up, don't do it. But he didn't do it. And as a result, I did it and I got frozen and we were all messed up. So um, that's the reason why I need to blame Darnell. Good to see Carrie Lawson on as well. And Lala, Warriors game is on, so we know Pastor Tillman. We know where Mrs. Tillman is. Um, we know that. Hey, Cha, I'm glad that you're still with us. Thank you. I appreciate that. Pat Rosser is on with us. Good to see you, sir. And so we want to talk about a couple of things. So So what a week it's been. It's been. Hey Wayne, uh, it's been this week. So last Friday, hey LaMonica, last Friday, right about this time right now, Janet Jackson and I were making up. Um, Janet Jackson came to my city, came right to my city, to the in market arena that I helped to lead the process to build, to perform in this. And hey, Sai, and she danced her little heart out. She gave us 2 hours. Good to see you, Lily. Good to see uh, everyone on. And Luda came on, and Luda did his thing. And then Janet and I had a conversation, and I'm not going to tell you about what we talked about, but Janet and I are okay. Okay. Good to see Grace Orr on. Good to see Andrea Hall Houston. Janet and I are cool. We have made up and everything, but seriously, it was, it has happened to me a couple of times um, during the last year or so that I was in this facility in Savannah, Georgia, at a event that I did not have to go out of town to go see. That I was in a world-class event center, and it was situated in the city of Savannah, Georgia. And I was so grateful not only to God, hey Davida, but so grateful to our community because it took 20 years to build this facility. 20 years. And I was fortunate enough to be the the servant at the time to finally get it built. And yet we have a situation in our community uh, in which our residents can enjoy. And they don't have to go to Atlanta. They don't have to go to Jacksonville. They don't have to go to Columbia. They don't have to go to Charlotte um, to be able to enjoy a world class event like that. We were the second stop on her tour, and it was just good for me. I think more so than enjoying Janet. Um, I think I enjoyed the fact that people were in our arena enjoying Janet. That people were coming from across the country to enjoy our arena. And so that is what Savannah Strong is all about. And that is why I'm so proud of this community. Tony wants to know, will Janet sing my next inauguration? Um, right now, I'm not at liberty to say that. Um, you know, don't worry about all that. I mean, if she sang, I'm wondering what song she would even sing. I mean, you know, what Control, Pleasure Principle, anytime, any place, Velvet Rope. I mean, I don't know. So, but it was just, it was a good thing for this community, and we'll continue to have great entertainment in our community. Um, hey, Coach Cassell Bell is on with us. Always good to have her. But it's just again a testament, and I was just immensely grateful to our community for helping to make it happen. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate you. Good to see Lahoma on as well. So I wanted to throw that out there. Second thing I wanted to throw out was I want to congratulate Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is now a Philadelphia Eagle, drafted number 30 in the first round of the draft. Nolan Smith is from Savannah. Played in Savannah, played um, uh, football in Savannah before going to the University of Georgia, and he is a fine, fine young man. And Terry Mobley, leader, good to see you. And of course, Dr. Zadana Slay. But we're so happy, so proud of Nolan Smith. Yesterday, also at City Council, we had um, the Memorial um, Day School boys basketball team, state champions there. We had um, the Stallions 10 and under team, which are champions of the state, and we had them in city council. We spend a lot of time talking about the bad that people do, particularly the bad that young men do. It dominates our news cycles. We have enough clippings and we have enough posts when we're showing photographs of the bad things that young men do. Hey, Treen, good to see you. But we have to start accentuating more the positive and showing the good things, the great things that our young people are doing. Um, Dr. Charlesetta Blake, good to see you as well. And I appreciate you appreciating it. And so I'm glad. I mean, all of our young men are not going to hell in a handbasket. All of our young men are not doing bad things. And so if you think about this, just in the last 24 hours in Savannah, we celebrated a under 10 uh, basketball team. We celebrated a high school basketball team, and we celebrated one of our own who is going to the NFL. Now, that being said, y'all know as a New York Giant fan, I cannot root for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, that is almost like sacrilege. It's blasphemy for me to support the Philadelphia Eagles. But now that Nolan, Savannah's own Nolan, will be playing for them, I might have to rethink some of that. Talia, good to see you. So y'all know how I am about um, my Giants. You know, so I, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all gonna have to pray for me. I mean, I want Nolan to do well. Well, I mean, I don't mind going for the Eagles except for when they playing the Giants. Um, and Nolan is like super quick, and so I got to make sure that we're able to, you know, figure out a way to deal with him. So, but congratulations, Nolan. Good work brings out good results, and so we're very, very proud of you. Other thing I wanted to talk about is um, Savannah State, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, I was informed in a phone call that President Kimberly Ballard Washington had resigned from being the president of Savannah State University. Good to see you, Sophia. And that is effective at the end of the term, which is June the 30th. And needless to say, I was disappointed about that. I think that hey, Kathy, um, President Ballard Washington was a breath of fresh air for our community. She was humble, but I know from my many interactions with her that she cared about the students um, and she cared about the university. And anyone who met her, because she came here not wanting to stay here. She is the only person who has ever been the president of Fort Valley State, Albany State, and Savannah State. And usually her job. Hey, Brent, good to see you. Her job, involves going in and kind of, you know, getting colleges straight and then leaving. And she fell in love with Savannah. She fell in love with Savannah State. Um, and so, um, what positions will let go at SSU? I don't know. I don't know what Savannah State will do as far as recruitment. And, you know, we're not sure what the city of Savannah could do for enrollment. Obviously, um, we encourage our employees to go to school. Obviously, um, there are incentives that can be done, like tuition reimbursement, to help them to be able to go. Good to see Robin on as well. But let me, I think the issue is, and I think we have to call it the way that it is. Um, I have been affiliated with Savannah State for now, you know, easily 30 years, easily 30 years. And every single year since I first stepped on the campus of Savannah State, every single year, there's always some challenge about the viability of the university. Either it's a rumor that it's going to be merged, or it's budget cuts, or it's this, or it's that. And the reality, hey Naima, good to see you. Janice, thank you. I appreciate you. Um, and the reality is that if higher education is hard, good to see you, Alfonso, then higher education in a historically black college or university is even harder. Savannah State is not the University of Georgia. It's not uh, Georgia Southern. Um, you know, and I think that we have to recognize that dealing uh, with institutions like Savannah State, if it was not for Savannah State, some folks would never have gotten a college degree. Uh, Savannah State has helped a lot of people get from where they were to where they are now. Uh, Savannah State uh, took people who were not necessarily ready for college sometimes and helped make them ready for college. Um, and as a result, they don't have the legacy donors that other people have. They don't have those types of things. And so, when uh, if other colleges in Georgia prick their finger, Savannah State has massive bleeding. And that is not only true for Savannah State, but it's also true for the other public universities, for Albany State and for Fort Valley State. Um, and so the problem, I think, is that ultimately um, you have to be able to treat colleges in an equitable manner. And treating them equitably, meaning that there are unique challenges. Good to see Tara on from them Hayward girls. Um, we have to figure out ways because every president, no matter how good you are, the fact is that the money is not there, the money is not there. The fact is, if the scholarships are not there, the scholarships are not there. If the enrollment is not there, the enrollment is not there. And so we have to recognize that there are some very specific, unique challenges as it relates to HBCUs, and I think that we have to be able to address that. And it becomes very, very difficult for anybody to lead an organization um, that inherently has those types of challenges. Not saying that anyone is looking for handouts, but I think that everyone in higher education would agree that it is just more difficult. Good to see you, Pastor Thomas Hart, and thank you for the offer of the short ribs. Um, and so I just want us to make sure we say we love Savannah State, but we have to also give to Savannah State, and we have to always support Savannah State. Um, and sometimes we can be our own worst enemy when it relates to that. And so Hey, Miss Joanne, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will tell you that um, the city do a tuition reimbursement. I think so. I'll check to see. Um, but we have to figure out ways of helping our university that we say we love, and making sure that when people, hey, Linda Wilder Bryan, great alderwoman from the third district, we have to make sure, hey, Royce, good to see you, um, that we, because I mean, I can imagine that if you're coming into a challenging job and then you get more challenges on you, I mean, it does not really lend itself to anybody being successful long term there. And so, I know that President Ballard Washington, loves Savannah State. I know she served that. And, and the reality is that, you have to treat, um, you have to treat colleges and education in an equitable manner. They're not all one size fits all. You just won't. Good to see Tia on. Good evening to the Honorable Gabrielle D. Nelson. We appreciate her doing great things at Port Wentworth. Alfonso, I love you too. Kathy as well. And so, we have to figure out ways to be able to do that. And we have to figure out ways to better support any leader that becomes the president of Savannah State. Because the reality is that, your challenges are just different. Um, you know, I could probably be the president of the University of Georgia and money is going to come in. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it is the flagship university. And, you have donors who give and they give a lot. And you have kids trying to get there and wanting to get there. And then, it doesn't hurt when you win a national championship. It doesn't hurt when you win two. I mean, you get there, you get there, you get there, you get there, you get there. And so we have to be able to support not only our university we say we love, we have to support those who work in it. And so 23 people were notified today that, um, you know, that they are going to lose their jobs come June 30th. And that's just because when you have less enrollment, you have to cut money. You don't have um, other forms of income to help supplement your deficits. And so that is a challenge. And that is going to continue to be a challenge. So um, I mean, I think a lot of good to see you, Marcelo. I think a lot of President Ballard Washington. I think she did a hell of a good job. She came in and she did the best she could um, in a very difficult situation, and I am and will be appreciative of her for what she has done. But the reality is, if it's Kimberly Ballard Washington or anybody else, if we don't change how we view higher education, not only in this city but in this state, the reality is it could be anybody, and they're going to have the same challenges. They're going to have them, and so um, that is something that is a reality in the world in which we live, and I think we have to accept that as a reality in which we are. So that's the deal with that. Um, and um, Well, Natasha, I want your son to come home and go to Savannah State. Savannah State is a great university. Quick commercial break. And so I'll go ahead and give this to you all. You know, no pressure if you feel so inclined. Um, you know, here is opportunity to be a part and give if you wish. We would love for you to do that. So, um, and then the other thing, oh, wait a minute. There was something else I wanted to give you. Amen. So I wanted to tell you about that. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about, which was crazy. I'll tell you, it was a crazy week, and has not really ended for me yet. So, um, Let's see. Okay. So this week, hey Janine, I went to Africa. Saturday, I left and to uh, I went to Accra, Ghana, and I went there um, as a member of the World Trade Center Savannah to the World Trade Center's conference in Accra, Ghana. And I went for two purposes. One, to support the work of the World Trade Center um, there, and the need for us to be able to engage with countries around the world. Our World Trade Center punches well above its weight. We engage around the country, around the world, really to be able to help induce, influence, and increase trade from other nations. And so I went there for that. I did this. I went to Ghana, and while I was there, Antoine was there with us. Um, and while I was there, I had another purpose, and uh, you know, the purpose was to meet with officials in Ghana to be able to help create relationships between Savannah and the country of Ghana and cities in Ghana. No, Terry, I went. I just got back. I went on Saturday and I came back Thursday just before council meeting. So I was really messed up, but I went. But while I was there, I met with the vice president of the Republic of Ghana and had an opportunity to talk with him about Savannah and creating ways and opportunities to be able to connect Savannah to the country of Ghana. I also had the opportunity to meet with the mayor of Accra, and the mayor of Accra is a female, the first female mayor in Accra's history, which is a capital city of Ghana. Oh, absolutely jet lag. I don't know where my mind is right now. L. Griffin Kennedy, Katrina. Um, but I had those opportunities to meet with them, and I got back on the plane, and I landed in Savannah on Thursday afternoon, and I went through city council meeting, which lasted till 10 o'clock p.m., and then had to leave again for a speaking engagement that I have, which is why my background looks a little different. But great opportunity, and the reality is this: is that for so long, Savannah has been doing work uh, with European countries. They have been doing work with Asian countries. And it is time that we open up import, export, and relationships intentionally with African nations. And we went to create, hopefully, some sister city relationships or partnering relationships in which Savannah businesses will be able to do business in Ghana, and Ghana businesses will be able to do business in Savannah. And so I've talked with a bunch of merchants, and we're going to create an opportunity for hopefully some of them will come to the United States, come to Savannah, and sell some stuff, and we can buy that stuff. And we're going to find ways of creating culture exchanges, educational exchanges, find ways for Savannah State students to go over to the University of Ghana and have Ghanaian students to come to Savannah State. Find ways to exchange culture, particularly with the Ivory Coast, particularly with the slave trade. The reality is that that, as I told the vice president of the Republic of Ghana, is that Africans, enslaved Africans, built Savannah, and it is true. Davida, yes, I did just get off a plane from Ghana. I'm all over the place right now, but it's Friday night, so we have to do. But you know, enslaved Africans built our city, and it's the truth. We salute James Oglethorpe for what he did. We salute the Craw and the Yamasee Americans or native peoples of this land for what they've done. But we also recognize that the clearing of the vast forests that now encompass our beautiful downtown, um, we know that the cobblestones and things that were laid by the labor, the sweat of enslaved people. And so therefore, it's my opinion that we have that responsibility to also create opportunities to reconnect with Africa and with African nations. Um, I will tell you that, in some places like Accra, Dennis, you would probably notice that it was obviously, really, really, nice places. But the poverty there, and this is my second time to Ghana, is unspeakable. And you come back being so grateful for what you have, but you come back feeling so sad for the people there. And so we have to, hey, Crystal, um, and we help to uplift, hey, Cassandra, we have to, the way you lift people out of poverty, both here and over there, is through business and through business exchanges. People over there, they work hard, and they need opportunities to be able to grow those businesses. Hey, Beverly, grow their opportunities, and there are ways for us to be able to do that. And so, um, you know, uh, we forget sometimes all of the things that we take for granted. We complain about things that we shouldn't be complaining about, but the reality is that we are so phenomenally blessed. And I look, and you see the children who, in spite of subpar facilities, hey Reba, um, and in spite of very difficult situations, yet these young people are learning and want to learn. And they take education seriously, and they take their teachers seriously, and they're like so freaking well behaved. And then over here, we give teachers such a hard time, and some children who don't want to learn. And I mean, I would love just to take children over and let them see and let them get a feeling that they are blessed just because of where they live. That some of these folks, that poverty. Good to see you, Vandalin. Good to see you, Nikki. Good, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. And that maybe if they saw that how difficult things are, maybe they wouldn't take so many things uh, for granted. And so um, it was one of those missions that we jumped on, and it's been a long couple of hours. I spent, again, um, 2 hours, and then a 11-hour flight to Accra, 11 hours back, and then 2 hours back. Uh, you know, to take care of my business here at the city. But I'll be telling you more about it, and we'll have some of them. And we'll figure out a way to interact with them on Friday Night Live, because I want you to understand, what it is. Matter of fact, next week I might even try to show some of the pictures of what I've taken there, so you all could see um, that. I mean, they're just people just don't do well, and so when we open up these trade opportunities, uh, when we open up these cultural opportunities, when we open up these educational opportunities, we're not only just helping people in Savannah, we're not only helping small businesses in Savannah. Hey Eva, hey Alan, we're opening up opportunities to help people in Ghana help themselves. They just need the chance, because they got a bunch of stuff to buy. They need people with the buying capability to buy it. Um, and so we'll continue to uh, open up those opportunities, and we'll see where they go. So yeah, I am feeling a little bit jet lagged. I don't even know what time it is right now. I think right now I had to leave again. I'm um, speaking somewhere tomorrow, so I'm in another time zone. I think it's like 9 o'clock in this time zone. Thank you, Miss Linda. Appreciate that. But so yeah, so I don't know what time it is right now. But anyway, so that's what the week was look like. And if y'all feel so inclined, you can go ahead and you can also like this page. If you would please like this page for me, I appreciate that. Hey, Sarah Stevens on Liberty County's finest and Liberty City's finest. And yes, brother Harry, I did receive your invitation. So, um, who can someone talk to about they've been living in apartments the same with Fellwood? They got a letter say they're not eligible because she's in a one bedroom. Call my office on Monday, Ernestine. Um, I don't know who they would talk to, so if you call the office, we'll figure it out. Oh, so I did want to talk a little bit about Orange Crush. Um, I want to talk a little bit about Orange Crush because I got a lot of people reaching out to me. Hey, Miss Barbara, good to see you, and happy anniversary to you. A lot of people reaching out about Orange Crush. I got tagged so much last week, and now I was in Ghana, right? And people are tagging me about Orange Crush. So I have a thank you, Dennis. I appreciate it. Um, I have an interesting history with Orange Crush. As a matter of fact, um, I was one of the organizers of the first Orange Crush. I was at the first Orange Crush as a Savannah State student, 1987 ish, 88 ish, and we started it off because at that time, and that was before I knew the Lord, right? we uh, we used to go to spring break in Daytona. We go up uh, to Myrtle Beach. We go to Freaknik. We go, I mean, all over the place. And we're like, we have a beach here. And, why don't we have something at our beach here in Savannah? And so that was really what Orange Crush was all about. And the first one was absolutely great. And the second one was okay. And then, it got to be a little different because we had people coming who were not affiliated. Thank you, Len. Um, who were not affiliated with um, Savannah State. It started off like, colleges, we're here, your colleges are coming, and then other colleges are coming. And, but it stopped being college people, it was other folks. And, then it became an issue. Um, well, Glenda, the good news is I don't think I'm in the Freaknik documentary, but I will tell you this: have um, I do have videos. I do have videos from Freaknik. They're under lock and key though. Alan, I have never thought about running for Georgia governor. No way. But anyway, and so it's grown, and the reality is that um, you know it's grown. It's become a thing now, and it's not permanent. And I've worked before a little bit with Tybee Island to try to help to mediate opportunities for people to do it and do it in a way that is safe, because it is a public beach. The island belongs to Tybee, but the beach belongs to everybody. And I think the challenge is that that it's a small island. Number one, and Donna let it go. Uh, but it's a small island. It's maybe 3 miles total. It's one way on and one way off, and it's really just a road that really runs really the length of the island. I mean, and so it is easily overwhelmed. And so I know some people were trying to figure out ways to get it permitted, and they weren't able to get it permitted. And so there is that creates a major issue um, for them. And you know, I don't know. I think um, you know, it's well, Tybee is not Savannah, so I'm not the mayor of Tybee. Tybee has a fantastic mayor in Shirley Sessions, and Wilmington Island is not in the city of Savannah; that's under the county. So people were complaining to me, and I'm like, you know, you need to listen to the residents of Wilmington Island. No, I really don't. I mean, y'all don't live in Savannah, and I don't know why they didn't think that. They knew that. Now, at the end of the day, we had to deal with issues in downtown Savannah and around that. I mean, we won't say it's attributable to Orange Crush because Orange Crush is not an event. It's not an event. So you can't really attribute it to Orange Crush. If there is no Orange Crush, there was no Orange Crush. So nothing to attribute it to. So, I mean, I would think that, maybe Tybee Island should perhaps take the event over and they do the event and maybe do it in a way in which it is managed, in which they can control access on and off of the island. That you have some events. The reality is Orange Crush is not necessarily a college event anymore. It's now a thing. People just come. And so, for the problems that there were young people who came down there who were very well behaved. And they, I mean, just like Freaknik. I mean, Freaknik got a bad name. But I wasn't starting no trouble. I just was there. Um, but we have to figure out a way to be able to address it. I mean, if you know that they're coming, if you have it permitted, then it makes it much easier to prepare, and you prepare in a way in which you're able to, you know, control traffic flow. That you're able to help people secure. You have checkpoints and those types of things. You coordinate public transportation to take people down and bring them back. And I think it's just, I think that's the kind of thinking I would think, because the reality is that until someone takes it over, until it becomes permanent, um, it's not going to be permanent, and you just have this unorganized mess of people just showing up, and that's just not going to work. So I know this is supposed to be like Peach Crush or Peach something this weekend, and I mean, you know, as far as Savannah, I mean, we are a city in which we expect tourists, and so we recognize that tourists help us pay the bills. We recognize that tourists um, are a part of our economy, and so we just make plans for them. Whether they are Irish, or whether they are black, or whether they are German, whether they're Greek, whether they're LGBTQ plus, we just make room for them, and we prepare for them, and we coordinate with them in a way that allows them to have a safe event. As Pastor Tillman just said, they should close out Orange Crush with worship. Well, I think the only thing, Pastor Tillman, is that we would probably have to go out to them. I think we would have to go out to them. But hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's have service on the beach. Um, let's have service on the beach on that Saturday. So, Kathy, you saying kids? Well, I mean, some kids were rude and disrespectful. I mean, some kids. I mean, but that's all the time. That's not all kids, and that's not necessarily directly attributable to Orange Crush. I mean, I've been on the beach and I've seen kids who are rude and disrespectful. I mean, that's just the nature of the world in which we live in. I wouldn't necessarily attribute that to an event that did not occur. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And so, I just want to make sure that we're being very, very careful, that we're not drawing a line in the proverbial sand that, that smells um, of, of racism or anything like that. I mean, you know, rude and disrespectful people are rude and disrespectful people. Um, and again, if there was no Orange Crush, then they can't be attributed to Orange Crush. These were kids who were rude and disrespectful who happened to be on the beach because there was no event. We have to have an event. But anyway, um, so that's the deal. So somebody asked me a question I wanted to see. Um, when are we gonna have fiber? Lucy, we have fiber. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? When are we gonna have fiber? We have fiber. I don't know if you can give me a little bit more. Um, we have fiber. So if you want to elaborate more, I can try to answer that for you. But yeah, we just have to, we have to do that. Ah, so Pastor Tillman said he might come. We provide physical food. Yeah, I think we turn around. We put out a grill, Pastor Tillman. I think we put out a grill. Maybe that's what we should do. We should go ahead and have that. Other providers are not allowed. It's on Xfinity on Skidaway. On Skidaway, what? Skidaway Road or Skidaway Island, Lucy? Um, Lucy is a Skidaway. It's only Xfinity on Skidaway. Let me tell me what you're talking about. I'm gonna get some rest. I think my body doesn't know what time it is because I think I'm all over. I'm halfway between Ghana and where I am. Skidaway Island. Um, oh, all right. Well, Lucy, Grant Street is not in the city of Savannah, so I cannot answer your question. Skidaway Road by Grant Street. Grant Street is in unincorporated Chatham County, so I can't answer that question because that's not in the city of Savannah. That is a question for Chatham County. Um, I don't know. I can't answer it for you. I'm sorry. But I will tell you this um, that, um, you know, I know people complain about Xfinity. Um, the reality is that before Xfinity, there was Xfinity was Comcast, and before Comcast, it was like Cablevision of Savannah or something like that. Good to see Tabitha on as well. Um, and it's not necessarily a monopoly. It's just that in order for us to have choice, other companies have to invest in putting in the infrastructure that is necessary to offer alternatives. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I forgot. All right, it is kind of late. I forgot. I'm an hour behind y'all, so I'm just talking. But anyway, so I think that's what the issue is. It's not anything that the city necessarily controls. Um, you know, uh, if utility companies are willing to put in the infrastructure, then they can put in the infrastructure. I don't think there's anything preventing them from doing it. But I would tell you, in order to get the expansiveness that is needed, um, you know, they would have to put in a major capital investment, which is why you notice other providers putting in new developments because they could do it, when they're putting in wires. But it's very difficult in town to be able to do that. I mean, I don't like Xfinity taking away my channels and my price keep going up. I don't like that either. But you know, again, Lucy, you know, you're not in the city of Savannah, so that's a really a county question. But I think it's not really government. I think the issue is just that you have to have other. Hey, Sandra, good to see you. I think it's just a matter of companies willing to make that financial investment to give you a choice. And Janine Brown has told me it's time to get some rest, and I probably do. I am feeling it. So thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. And thank you, Frank. I appreciate you as well. And yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Hey, Miss Loretta, good to see you. Catherine as well. And finally, just want to tell you We lost Darlene Ward Jackson this week, and Darlene Ward Jackson, um, a special woman, certainly a friend. Um, she was a City of Savannah employee. She ran our Youth Ambassadors program. Uh, she was a singing something, but just had such a special, sweet spirit to her. And, she passed away last week. Karen, good night. But we're always going to love Darlene Ward Jackson. And, we were sorry to learn that she had gone from us. And so we'll miss her. But as they say, we know God loves you best. And it's never, you know, it's not when you know it's not hard to move when you know where you're moving to. And so for her, uh, we know she believed, we know she lived in faith, and so we know where she is. Um, and so um, thank you, Joanne, for giving me that. Yes, right. Tybee Island in the beach is a state. Yes, it is a public beach. Yes, yes. Well, that's what we said before you came on. We just got to work together to figure it all out. But anyway, so I'm done here, y'all. Appreciate you all, and love you. Nothing you can do about it. That's it for Friday Night Live, and I will see you next week after I get some sleep. Good night, everybody.